History. By definition, it exists behind us.
It's funny to think that it's been 9 years that this rivalry's been going on, and that I have to deal with this guy.
The belt is on the line. Again.
But yet, it is forever reaching forward into the present, shaping us, defining us.
As the animosity has grown throughout the years, people just want to see us fight.
History can be our greatest teacher, bettering our future through the lessons of our past.
Just too much for Dominick Cruz.
Failures are what build us into champions.
But history can also haunt us. Urijah Faber and Dominick Cruz have already gone to war in the octagon. Twice.
This is it.
In this rivalry, each fighter's record stands at 1-1. But a streak of injuries has held the critical third and deciding fight at bay for the better part of 5 years now.
I've been sticking around a couple extra years just to let you heal up, buddy.
The final chapter in this 9-year history will be written at UFC 199.
He literally has the least amount of character of anybody I've ever met.
Don't just assume anything about me. You don't know jack about me.
The rematch is set for a venue that has a little history of its own, the Los Angeles Forum. What's at stake? The UFC's Bantamweight Championship belt and a whole lot of history.
Now it'll be good to finally get out there and put my hands on it.
You did it the easy way, sitting on the sidelines. I've been fighting.
At UFC 199 in Los Angeles,
I'm gonna smash you, brother. Believe that.
there will be bad blood. For all things UFC 199, one needs to look no further than the Golden State, California. In the north, in the capital, is Urijah Faber. Over a 13-year stretch, the California kid rose from an NCAA wrestling career to UFC superstardom. Take a short jaunt just 500 miles southward, and you'll find Faber's oldest and greatest adversary, Dominick Cruz. His elusive fighting style has become legendary in the octagon.
Cruz's footwork, some of the most magical in MMA today.
He's now thought to be the greatest bantamweight ever to live.
What a moment for Dominick Cruz.
When the fighters first clashed, no one thought that it would be the start of 9 years of bad blood.
Man, this is the old school right here. 2007. This is the poster that got Cruz's panties in a bunch.
I was 9-0 in my first fight with Faber. It was a title fight. How it worked was nobody wanted to take the fight at the time, and they needed somebody to take the fight at 6 weeks' notice.
I think he'd been with me a month before we even started that camp, so it was a whole adjustment period. New camp, new city, new friends.
You know, this is like the Wild West of mixed martial arts. And I was the guy at that time who was fighting anyone and everyone, trying to unify all the belts at 145 pounds.
Urijah Faber!
And the impression he got was, they're just bringing me in to feed me to Urijah.
We sign the fight posters, they give them to charity, they give them to veterans. I noticed Dominick, who I didn't even know at this time at all, was signing directly over my face, and I'm like, the heck, like, thought it was just one, and then he'd go through, and he'd done it on all of them, and I was just thinking, man, this guy's a little punk.
We're fighting. Where's there the respect in you facing me and I'm facing you, and I want to hurt you and you want to hurt me? There is no respect there. I don't respect him. I didn't respect him then, I don't respect him now. He says it was disrespectful to sign on his face. I say it was disrespectful for me to not be on the poster when I'm fighting him for the world title.
Whatever his justification is for doing whatever he does, I don't care. I was just ready to smash the dude, that's all.
I'm not the type of person that's ever been beat up or picked on or the underdog. I've been the man since I was a little kid, and I'm still gonna be the man.
All I can think about is fighting Urijah.
and winning this fight.
Well, there is no question of what the intent is between these two men. This one is for the belt. World featherweight title on the line. Urijah Faber right off the bat showing him all kinds of different shots.
He does. Urijah Faber really is a student of the game of MMA, you know. Dominick Cruz not backing down. He is here. He's for real.
Urijah Faber, the former Division I champion
Counter
from
to a
UC
guillotine.
Davis. That is it. How do you like the work of Urijah Faber?
After the fight, I didn't think much of the guy. I was like, cool, man, good fight. Moved on.
And still, the WEC.
He had like this real cocky, like he did this thing again. Said, good fight, bro. You know, and then just said a real smart aleck remark.
He got such a bad impression from what was then Urijah Faber, a world champ.
And it just stuck with me, like, okay, well, I know I'll see you again.
But Cruz would have to wait 4 long years for the opportunity to challenge Faber again. In the intervening time, the California Kid's popularity exploded, and Urijah Faber quickly became one of the most recognizable MMA fighters on the planet. Success in the octagon brought success to the wallet.
We're gonna have the pitted area where the fireplace is, like the dining room. We've got the La Cantina doors. I built a team, I built a gym, I built multiple clothing lines, I built management companies. I've got a real estate company. Money is a friend to me. It comes to me easily and frequently. I'm a money magnet.
Faber's lifestyle and his attitude were a far cry from those of Dominick Cruz.
You have your popular kid in school, and then you have your not so popular kid in school, and Dominick was the not so popular kid, and Urijah is the bully.
Faber wants to make whoever he's fighting the bad guy, and he wants to be the Mr. Popular. He lives in like a real life wannabe high school scenario where he's the prom king. And that's how he views himself, literally. I mean, he brags about it all the time. That's one of his main bragging points. He just loves himself, loves to hear himself talk.
Wow, really? The chip on his shoulder. It's just kind of sad, really. Dom's like dwelling on me and my life and my associations. I don't think about that guy at all. Dom's just a dope by actions. So, you know, I didn't make him into the bad guy. He just is who he is.
But when it came to fighting, Cruz and Faber were never far apart. Both the fighters and the fighting world knew that a rematch was inevitable.
Yeah, I'm ready to fight Urijah. Let's do it, Sacramento or here in Arizona.
Dominick, if you're out there, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide that UFC belt, baby. I'm gonna get it.
The Cruz-Faber rematch was finally booked for July 2nd, 2011. An epic-sized 4 years after their first bout. Even though Cruz was the UFC's bantamweight champion at this point, his loss to Faber, the challenger, was the only one on his professional record. And that was something he intended to avenge.
I needed it for myself and my own knowing that I had improved that much.
He knew he belonged there. He knew he was the world champion at the time, and he knew Urijah wasn't at his level. The only difference was his anger and his hate for Urijah had grown.
After I beat him, you know, he was running his mouth, just being kind of an immature little brat. I can't wait to punch him in the face and beat him up and all that good stuff. He's got something that I want. I'm the only guy to beat him, so he's always got to hear my name. He can run, but, you know, I don't think in the end he's going to be able to hide.
Yes! Stop it, man!
Both of these guys are in tune. They are at the top of their game. They do not like each other, and they are the very best in the world.
Oh, man. It doesn't get any better than this, baby.
If their first bout was a street fight, their second was a chess match.
The two best bantamweights in the world.
demonstrating how much the fighters had evolved and matured over the 4 years since their first encounter.
Bad blood and the bantamweight title on the line.
For 25 minutes, Dominick Cruz and Urijah Faber played the sport of MMA, each giving and taking very little.
This is a fight where we really need expert judges. There's so much going on in this fight.
In the end, the winds of fate blew ever so slightly in Cruz's favor.
Still, the undisputed UFC.
Dominick did not win this second fight. It was a very close fight, but I thought I won. Where were the devastating blows? There weren't any. I landed the devastating blows.
Faber will always have an excuse. It's just his ego's bigger than himself.
He has excuses for every loss he has. He doesn't admit any of them. And that's the reason why he continues to lose and has 8 losses. I have 1 loss, he has 8.
The 2011 rematch would only be the second act in a longer story. The promise of a Cruz-Faber trilogy had fans salivating. The rivals were booked to meet again in Las Vegas in July 2012 on the biggest card of the year. It was set to be a huge payday for both the fighters.
That was a big opportunity. We were fighting with guys like Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva on the card, and there was all this build-up. You don't have a chance of finishing me. You don't have a chance of doing anything to me. There's zero fear of what you have to offer.
Good, then come forward, because you backed up the entire fight. We'll whoop your ass again.
If the guy thinks I don't know how to beat him, I already did beat him. He's alive right now because there's rules in MMA, and I had to release his neck and let him breathe.
I feel like Dominick chose me as an enemy, and I'm all for that. You want to choose me as your enemy? Let's do it.
You look like a bum, you dress like a bum, nobody cares what you have to say.
But Dominick Cruz never made it to UFC 148.
Dominick Cruz tore his ACL in training, knocking him out of his UFC 148 title fight with Urijah Faber.
The deciding fight in the trilogy was scrapped.
Part of my deal was this pay-per-view, this huge event, and this build-up and everything that came to a head with this confrontation between Cruz and I, and that was over. I lost a lot of money on that deal, dude.
Faber's bank account took the damage, but for Cruz, the toll was physical. He suffered the first setback in an injury plague that would last 3.5 years.
I knew that when I blew my ACL out that I would come back fast. That was my original thought process, but little did I know I was gonna have a whole lot of injuries stacked up against myself.
2 more ACL injuries followed, along with a torn quadricep. Though he had entered the prime of his career, Cruz would spend it on the sidelines.
I never really accepted the injury, as silly as that sounds, but you kind of have to, I learned later. You have to accept the injury, you have to accept that you're hurt. I was fighting it tooth and nail. It was heartbreaking.
While Cruz was injured, his arch nemesis would compete in 10 fights. Faber improved with live reps in the octagon, while Cruz studied game tape from a rehab facility.
The biggest difference with Dominick and I is I'm tested and proven.
Urijah is so strong at 135 pounds, Mike.
Born to do this.
I really like how Urijah is mixing things up with his striking.
His body wasn't made for battle. You know, I've had almost twice as many fights as he's had.
He was active while I was out. But that doesn't make it an easier path by any means for me. I mean, I was facing myself and my injuries.
Being injured, tough luck, that's not the harder route. I finish multiple guys, fight 4 or 5 times a year. Whoever they put in front of me, whether it's a risky fight,
Chasing him down, looking to finish the fight. McDonald's going to sleep.
Whether it's somebody that I have nothing to gain from winning.
Oh! Urijah Faber showing killer instinct.
Guy's not even able to fight half the time. Hasn't finished anyone.
Just absolutely outstanding.
I've got more finishes than he has total fights. That's what I've been doing. Zero talking, brother. That's it.
While Dominick Cruz lay dormant with injury, the bantamweight division he once ruled left him behind. A new champion would be crowned, and then another. For 3.5 years, Cruz fought the toughest opponent he'd ever known, his own body.
I kind of just hit a wall and said, you could be out forever. This could be it. You could never go back to the sport. What are you gonna do about it? Are you just gonna give up and quit and be sad and be sorry for yourself? Or are you gonna figure out a way for this to make you a stronger person? Honestly, that's literally your choices. There's no other option.
Go, 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 go. 8, 9, 10. Come on, Dom.
I didn't get to take the route and follow everybody. I took a different route, but I was still going the same direction as them. And once I wrapped my head around that and understood that and saw it from a different angle, I was fine.
Come on, launch it, let's go! Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Come on, let's go! 5, 4, come on! 3, 2, nice work. Well done, kid.
UFC official programs, live broadcast here, Fight Night.
Earlier this year, Dominick Cruz made his triumphant return to the octagon. There he would fight for the belt that his body had cost him.
Tonight, the greatest 135-pound fighter will be determined.
It was held by T.J. Dillashaw, a protege of none other than Urijah Faber.
All right, gentlemen, we've been on the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
Faber talks about never being injured and how he's always healthy and he's been active while I've been out.
Cruz pushing forward with the hands.
He should have touched the belt then.
Good combination by Cruz.
With all that time you had, 4 years with the best guy in the division completely out, why weren't you a champion then, Faber?
He's a wizard. He's one of the very best at not getting hit. Missed again.
After 5 rounds,
he makes great fighters look ordinary.
Dillashaw fell to the once and future bantamweight king. Dominick Cruz had returned, and Urijah Faber was waiting.
Let's do it, Dom. This has been a long time coming. I've been sticking around a couple extra years just to let you heal up, buddy. You're not made for battle. Let's do this.
The main act of judgment is fear. He fears the unknown. He fears things about me, how I could come back from 4 years of injury and win the title. I'm just wondering why you just didn't fight for the title when I was gone. You had plenty of opportunities, but instead you fought number 7 guys. He can't understand it because he could never do it. He didn't do it. He still hasn't done it. He's 0-3 for title shots. He's had the opportunity more than anybody and still hasn't done it. He's lost every single time he's faced for the title. And I win. I win against the best. He loses against the best. It took a lot longer, but here we are. I'm back on top right where we started in 2012, and he's still chasing, following my lead like always. You know, it's back alive again. Everybody's pissed off because I'm the champion. Faber hates me, and I'm excited to be the reason why he retires and why he'll never touch the UFC belt.
At UFC 199, whatever the outcome, the Faber-Cruz trilogy will finally come to a close. Who emerges from the ashes of battle is now for the gods of the octagon to decide.
You look like a soft, pudgy, half Latino.
You ever blown out your knees, buddy?
No, I haven't, dude.
Exactly.
I haven't because I'm made for battle. You're not.
There is a little more fire when you fight a guy that you don't like. A guy that thinks he has you all figured out and is completely wrong. I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited to get my hands on him, and I'm excited to become the champ.
At UFC 199 in the hallowed hall of the Los Angeles Forum, a decade of bitter history will reach its end.
Down in the deep where the sirens sing and hide in the muddy water.
Bantamweights Urijah Faber and Dominick Cruz, a rivalry between two men who cannot pronounce the word surrender.
You know what easiest way to be a fighter in this sport? Fight once every 4 years.
Faber has kept his fighting career alive for 13 years, waiting for the opportunity to defeat his most hated nemesis for good.
Man, it's gonna feel so good to finally shut Dom up.
Cruz has spent the better part of 4 years fighting his own body for a return to the octagon so that he might vanquish his mortal enemy forever.
I'm gonna walk away with my hand raised, the belt over my shoulders, and him reaching for it still.
It will be a war for honor, validation, redemption, and vengeance. But someone will go home empty-handed. The other will raise his fist as the world names him champion. Whatever happens at UFC 199, you can be sure of one thing. History will be written.